Hey everybody, Eleni here. It is so great to be back with you over here at the channel. I'm really excited about today because we have a fun collaboration with my friend and colleague Meg. Meg also made an appearance at the channel a little while ago when we completed an interview together. So if you want to learn more or watch this interview, you can definitely check it out somewhere floating around here. This video today is very special and I'm really excited to share it with you because I truly wanted to bring to this audience something new, something fresh. We are going to move through a really nourishing, restorative yoga and breath work practice. There's no crazy movements. This is not high impact. I really do believe that we could all benefit from a little bit more nervous system regulation, because when we do this, it really does support our hormone health, our gut health, and so much more. So I challenge you to complete this full video. It is really not that long. I participated in it and I can tell you throughout the practice and during, I was feeling so amazing and so much more regulated. So before you begin, I would recommend having a few props if available. If not, no worries. You can absolutely still participate with just slight modifications. If you do have access, this would be bringing a yoga mat, a blanket or two, 2 to 3 pillows, and 2 yoga blocks. Now I'm so excited to be moving along and breathing along with you. So I will see you over on your mat in just a minute.
Welcome friends, I'm Meg. We are gonna do a restorative breathwork and yoga, very slow flow yoga sequence today, about 10 to 15 minutes in duration. And I'm gonna be directing you and my beautiful friend Eleni today. So to start, if you can all come to a comfortable seated position, either sitting butt back on the heels or sitting down crisscross like Eleni. And let's just take our eyes to a gentle close and flip the palms down against the body, grounding inward, turning your energetic gaze inward towards the body. And start to slow the breath down, just noticing the breath, slow breaths in and out through the nose. As we turn ourselves towards the body, slowing the nervous system down in order to self-regulate and via the breath indicate to the body, I am safe. It is safe to slow down. It is safe to breathe. We'll start with 5 hummingbirds breath, I call it. We're gonna simply inhale through the nose and then exhale, closed mouth hum. See how much you can feel the vibration of the hum. The deeper the vibration, the more we feel that healing energy. Beautiful. I'll join you in the next one. Inhale. Hum. Beautiful work. Make those exhales long. 3 more. Hum. See if you can allow that humming to relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax the face even more. Coming into your final humming breath. Hum. Gently gently, slowly pause at the bottom of the breath, just sitting in stillness, retaining the breath for a few moments here. As you retain, bring the hands to the rib cage. Spread the fingers out really wide over the rib cage. And then honor that new air, fresh breath in when you need it. Simply coming back to slow and steady inhales and exhales, closed mouth through the nose. And the more we engage nasal breaths, slower exhales, and driving the breath into the abdomen or low belly, we signal to the body, I am safe. I am moving into that parasympathetic rest and digest mode. So with those hands spread over the ribcage, gently resting. On your next inhale, see if you can fill the ribcage as if you have a beach ball, stretching in all 360-degree directionality in the belly, expanding the ribcage on the inhale. And then gently those ribs come back together, slight movement as you exhale, everything decompresses back down towards the spine. This takes practice, continuing, inhale, expand the rib cage, expand the belly. Exhale slowly out of the nose, let everything come back together. You feel this slight movement of the rib cage. It expands and then it gently comes back together like little puzzle pieces. Keep with this movement. I call this 360 diaphragmatic breath. What a beautiful way to prime your body for digestion, as well as creating bodily safety. We're expanding those internal organs, creating space in an area of the body that we typically restrict, especially as women. We often pull and tighten and hold our bellies in. Can you let that area relax as it gently fills up with air? And then it gently falls back towards the spine as you slowly exhale. Telling the body through movement, it is safe to take up space. It's safe to be me. I am allowed to expand in all directions. Taking 2 more expansive diaphragmatic breaths here. On your second exhale, gently let the fingers just fall back down towards the legs. Flutter the eyelids open gently, welcoming yourself back to the room where we started. And then gently, like you're moving through water, take this slow. Come into an all fours position on your mat, facing the top of the mat. Grounding the knees underneath the hips, the wrists underneath the shoulders. And then see if in that position you can let that low belly area completely relax and release. Just letting it release. And then starting to circle the hips in giant hip circles. You may want to spread the knees out a little wider than hips width, and then just shifting in 360 degrees. Beautiful. All the way around. Opening up the hips in this position. Again, an area where we hold a lot as women. We hold little baby traumas or larger trauma in that area of the body. So take this slow and gentle, but intentionally. I like to close my eyes and allow for that strong inhale through the nose as I come forward, and then exhaling as I come backward, and maybe even noticing where you want to sit a little bit longer. If there's some crunchy or tight areas, we're not judging the area, we're just noticing, we're observing, and then we're giving a little bit more love where it's due. Taking these circles as slow or as quickly as you desire. Taking 2 more breaths in this position. And then on your exhale, coming forward into Sphinx pose. So you'll bring the knees, the legs together, and then you'll stretch the body all the way forward, bending through the elbows. Beautiful. And then see if as you come up into Sphinx, so you're grounded through the elbows, great. See if you can really push the ground away through those forearms. So this is a pose. This is not just a space of relaxation. It's a relaxing pose, but it's also really an intentional pose. And as you lay here, see if you can notice and come back to those diaphragmatic breaths, feeling the belly expand in this position with the feedback of the floor, and then gently feeling the belly pull back towards the spine as you exhale. These movements are slight. They're not meant to be forced. This is a position I love when I'm having menstrual cramps or dealing with some belly bloating or belly pain. This can be a really beautiful way to just reground, give your body a little bit of feedback and love by just taking some intentional time to be present with the breath. Ultimately, our healer that is available to us for free at all times that many of us just don't take advantage of. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. On your final exhale, come to lay the face down in crocodile pose. You can take the elbows wide, stack the hands over one another, and then just head face down, relaxing here, noticing again that low belly space. And I'm gonna assist Eleni here. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but having some props like a folded blanket and some pillows for this particular sequence can feel really nice and supportive. We'll next come into half frog pose. So I'm gonna have Eleni take her right knee, pulling it up to plant that knee on the blanket. Can feel really nice and nourishing for that side of the knee bone that sometimes it can hurt on a hardwood floor. And then keeping that left leg stretched wide, feeling as if you have shoelaces, like the tops of the shoelaces are pressed into the mat with that left foot. And then gently relaxing here again into this hip opening pose. Seeing if you lost the breath connection, can you come back to that space of breathing into the low belly, expanding the rib cage, and then exhaling. Again, these poses in this practice today really a beautiful symbol of I am worthy to take up space by feeling this in the body. So the movement really integrating that sequencing of mindset in the brain. Feeling the expansion and then knowing that it's safe to be you, to expand, to show up in the world. Let's take 2 more breaths here. On your exhale, simply take that right leg, lifting it off the blanket, again, slowly like removing through water, stretch that leg back behind you. And then shifting that blanket to the other side. So bringing the blanket to the left side of you, or pillow, whichever you prefer to be using. Pillow works great as well. And then we'll take that left knee, bending the left knee, bringing it up into that half frog pose. So full frog is when we're bending through both knees. It's far more gentle, more restorative and supportive to do this half frog placement. And then again, seeing if we can come back to the breath. Just a really lovely reminder of how the noise of life can kind of bring us away from the breath. We live in autopilot mode so much. And so these practices too are a reminder of when we're in the movement, sometimes we lose that breath connection. And so when we're in the stillness, can you come back to really ultimately the breath being your form of movement? Slow, deep breaths, picturing that beach ball expanding even into the back of the body. So even those back ribs may be slightly moving and expanding. Let's do 2 more breaths here. One more. As you exhale, we'll gently lift that left knee. We'll stretch it back behind us. And then simply roll onto the back from where you are now. I like to just simply roll over. And then pushing yourself gently up towards seated, we'll come into our final pose. You can also roll onto one side to push yourself up towards seated, whatever feels better. As we come into our final restorative pose, I'm gonna assist Eleni in setting this up, but what I would recommend is having 2 yoga blocks if possible, and then taking a longer pillow or even like just a pillow from your bed that you would sleep on, and stretching that over the 2 blocks. So I have one on the highest height and one on kind of like the medium height, laying them over in kind of a little diagonal tower. And then I like to take one more pillow or a folded blanket and bring it either to the top or the bottom where you're feeling like you need more support. I'll have Eleni then scooch her tush next to the bottom corner of that diagonal pillow, and then she'll just lay the body over. Beautiful. Stretching the arms wide, really opening through the heart space. And then for her feet, she can either leave them planted as they are. She can take and stretch the knees out wide like Supta Baddha Konasana, or she can spread the legs completely long if that feels comfortable. So any of these poses are fine and totally supportive. And just allowing the body to totally relax. If you choose the pillow down towards the low spine, it tends to give more of that low back support and more opening through the neck. in front of the throat. This pose, in addition, is a wonderful pose when you're dealing with belly pain or menstrual cramps, especially when you're in the Supta Baddha version of this pose, like Eleni is now. Because ultimately we're opening and expanding that low belly and then internal abdominal organs. A lot of those digestive organs that when we feel pain, our predominant or initial response tends to be pulling away, tightening, and also talking to the body in a way that is, sometimes harsh, or why are you punishing me, body? What's going on? What's wrong with you? And so the beauty of the opening and the expanding is it's a great way of showing the body, I am here with you, I support you, I want you to be held, expanded, and healed. And so from this supported fish space where we really open the heart and open up that hip area, can you breathe again into that beach ball space, expanding the ribs wide, and then allowing them to decompress and connect together on the exhale. This pose also a great pose for end of the day after sitting at a desk all day. Opening up that area that can be really crunchy when we're hunched over at a desk or in a car. Let's take 3 more deep breaths from this space here. To come out of this pose, I like to gently roll off to one side, using either the right or left palm to bring me back to seated. Again, the practice here, which Eleni is so beautifully practicing, is like as if you're moving through water, like you're a little piece of seaweed, you're moving really slow, there's no rush. Coming back to a comfortable seated position. And we'll close today this really short but grounding and intentional practice of calming the nervous system. We'll close with 3 of those humming breaths, seeing if you can hum even more deeply than where we did in the beginning. Inhaling. Hum. Exhale, hum. Final humming breath. Taking your time to just take in the practice, the nourishment we just gave ourselves. Taking both hands over the heart, stacking the palms over the heart, palms face inward. Seeing if you can just notice in these last few minutes, tuning into your heartbeat. Something that runs in the background of our day that we typically never notice, but is a reminder of our vitality and that we are supported from within. And our body so beautifully does so many things for us in the background. And every point led you to this moment of retouching with your nervous system and creating presence and safety. So having just a few moments of gratitude that you came to this point right now of reconnecting with self. Let's take one deep breath into that gratitude. Open mouth this time, exhale it away. Allow the hands to drop down. Maybe you wiggle fingers, wiggle toes gently. Little snap, crackle pops are okay. Maybe a gentle ear to one shoulder, ear to the other shoulder. Just reawakening, coming back to where we began when you're ready. Thank you all for joining us today.
I hope you all enjoyed this lovely little practice, and I hope you're feeling more regulated and calm. If so, definitely give me a thumbs up, drop us a comment, and if you want to learn more about Meg and her work, you can also check out her information in the description below. Take care of yourself, come back to this little lovely routine whenever you need. Be well, and I will see you soon.